And here we go. Vanderbilt wins the tip in the home black. In the road black.
Executes very well in their half-court offense.
And right away, Okereke with the 2. Start today in place of the injured Nate Ament. Dealing with that high ankle sprain. They hope to get him back for their opening round game. A lot of those this year, particularly in SEC play. Okereke going right into the paint again, and the fadeaway is pure. They have been in every game, it feels like, over the last 2 months of this regular season. Boswell pull up off the side of the might have gotten away with a bump there and banks it in. 6. Here's Evans off the bounce, and he was swatted by Okereke. Got it back. And hit the first shot of the game for Tennessee. Here is Tyler Tanner putting up all-American type of numbers. Won that battle with the pick and the put down.
And you see his really good ability.
69-65 victory in Nashville. Gillespie. And a tip.
You see how Jalen Washington came in from the outside to corral that rebound.
Oh, yes. Counted in the foul. Final despite the injuries. Just a month of the season with that knee. For the first time for Tennessee. Missed the first meeting between these two teams. Dealing with some foot soreness. Offensive foul is going to... Here's Devin McLaughlin. A couple of threes early in the first meeting. Now Miles, again a stop and pop off the bench. His career at the flagship program in his home state. Duke Miles, another acrobatic shot, won't bank. 5 to shoot for Vanderbilt. Tanner up and under. Could not bank it in. Gillespie had it stripped. The defensive activity of the Doors, so impressive. Bing! Through contact. And Tennessee's turned it over 4 times. In danger of turning it over again. Here's Evans taking it all the way. And that stops a 4-minute drought for the... 5 to shoot for Okereke.
If I'm Tennessee offensively, you got to get a piece of the paint.
Evans does just that and draws 2 shots.
Create something as far as kicking it out and get a quality look.
Well, a loaded day of an excellent game from earlier in the year. Duke, Carolina, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson both went for 20.
His thumb. And potentially out for the season, as he'll be one of the top draft picks in next year's NBA draft.
Which is a shame because that was such a
time of the year.
Boswell on the pull-up.
That's a really good job right there by Bishop Boswell.
Washington is well defended by a post. There's Dwayne Brown the second. Extra pass around the horn. Bird 3 off the side of the backboard.
For every single cut and decision.
Miles kept it alive. Off balance shot, rims down. Mari Abram wanted a foul, won't get it. Okereke flips it up, and it's an offensive.
And the turnovers continue to surmount.
Duke Miles has been a pest on the defense. The rebound. Open 3. Evans rims out. Still no threes for either way.
Well, Tennessee really takes advantage of you when they get on the offensive board. And there's a big shot right.
17. Zip pass from McLaughlin and a 2-hand jam.
Well, definitely when you're missing a player of his caliber, it's going to be impactful. But the things that Tennessee does well, they're not able to do so far in this
one. But it has been Vanderbilt early dominating inside. There's Estrella. And late in the timer here for Tennessee. 5 to go. Evans hesitated. Rims out of 3. Carey in March. And both teams have been playing excellent basketball down the stretch.
Well, they're well coached, and you can now back to the free throw line.
Are the Thunder a legit contender again this year? I think the answer so far is yes.
Yeah, absolutely. What wins the games, and it's beautiful to see.
Another turnover. We were coming back.
Vanderbilt takes advantage of them many times, leading to easy points on the other end.
McLaughlin for the Arkansas Razorbacks in overtime on the road as we welcome you to Rocky Top. Matt Schumacher, Richard Hendricks with you for one of the Grayling in a rematch of a very tight game from just a couple of weeks ago. And Tanner will be going back to the foul
for Vanderbilt as they capitalized to the tune of 8 points off of those turnovers. The execution by the Commodores in the half court.
Both of these teams not just playing for in-state bragging rights, but for NCAA tournament implications.
Defensive effort on this possession right here by the Commodores.
Here's Evans to the bucket, counted in the foul. Pre-game, and Rick told us he asked Amari after his first collegiate start at South Carolina on Wednesday night, what'd you learn?
That starting out, helping off the balls tonight.
10 points on 4 of 7. Here he is again. Opportunity for the Vols.
And I thought with 7 seconds, Gillespie rushed that attempt a little too early.
Miles slipping. I'm assuming you took great advantage of that during your long and illustrious pro career overseas.
Well, why would you take away
for the final 4 minutes of the first half? Fresh off the bench.
Lock and loaded.
There's Evans. Pick 6. Timeout Vanderbilt.
And they've been able to get back in this game.
There's Washington over the smaller in back-to-back games dealing with a high ankle sprain. They hope to have him back early in the SEC tournament as Felix in the country has been slow to get going in this game, but boy, he can do it in a hurry. Gillespie back the other way off the side of the rim. Tap out. 2 minutes and change remaining in the opening half. And Evans tried to draw a foul. His last touch by Miles.
Vanderbilt looks to take their time and run a long offensive set on a quality look.
Miles bounce pass. Washington pays it off because Troy Henderson appeared to re-aggravate that left arm. He went to the locker room for Tennessee up their tunnel. An early 8-0 lead for Vanderbilt. They never look back. Here's Miles off the bounce. And a great rebound by Evans. Pitch back into Gillespie, 3 seconds. Gillespie spins, steps out at the horn. 1-5 victory for the Tennessee Volunteers, whose defense has been pretty stifling.
Impact that they've had so far in this game. 6 players already scored in this game for Vanderbilt, and it's making it difficult for Tennessee to guard wide open.
Against Florida, Tennessee can lock it up with just a victory this afternoon. Evans was rejected. And
often the main offensive producer for the Vols
as well. This is a shortened bench and a banged up Vols team this afternoon, and there's had a couple of early buckets for Vanderbilt. Help the Doors increase their lead to
drawing a foul.
Well, we are in the mid on right now. We've got a big slate starting at noon Eastern tomorrow with College U.
A lot of fun to watch and some good high-level basketball played in those respective conference tournaments. You give him to him in the low post, he's been able to make some good things happen that can create some momentum.
Miles, offensive foul. That was called by Bart.
You have to be well outside a position where they can shoot and get a quality shot.
Cherokee from the corner. That's a 3.
They're wide open.
Largest lead of the game for Vanderbilt. Comes into this game. Losers of 3 out of their last 4. A blocking foul. Cherokee will go to the bench with 3 fouls. Meanwhile, Estrella completes the 3-point play. Without future lottery pick Nate Ament. Tanner floats and is good. Speaking of potential future lottery picks.
And so far in this game, Vanderbilt's done a really good job of not allowing Tennessee to get the easy baskets when it comes to their picking.
Over the last month of the season.
Yeah, they've been one of the hotter teams in the SEC and so far. Oh, what?
Tanner back to McLaughlin. Good two-man game and a big fell
off the glass with a soft touch.
Gillespie still just the 3 points. Gets out to Boswell.
4 done against Vanderbilt today.
Here's Tanner off the screen. Up to 13 points. Slow start to come to him.
Well, this kid knows how to play the game. He started this thing off setting the tone defensively and distributing to others, but he's been efficient as Ethan Berg
from Kentucky later on today against Florida. That'll be right here next on ESPN. Washington off the side of the rim, and the Gillespie as he has all afternoon. 5 to shoot. Boswell off the bounce. Strong take to the rack, won't go. Tap back, no good, but in this game. Step back from Tanner. Yes, sir.
Goodness. That is a tough.
And 5 steals. He is having an all-American type of season.
He's got the mismatch right now.
Takes it right to Carey and just. Not only has he been the catalyst for Vanderbilt's offense, after coming up gimpy on a drive to the basket, he has been really their only consistent offense as Berg takes it to the rack. Hamilton blocked by Estrella. Here comes Evans. Steps it through. Lay-in is good for Tennessee.
This is the part of the game where Vanderbilt has to really execute and find an easy bucket.
Washington goes around Estrella.
A tremendous length. Gets off the floor pretty quickly to finish it. To line where they were not able to manufacture any offense. If they can cash this one in with a couple of free throws, it really poses a mismatch.
Estrella, no. Ball tapped around, secured by Evans. Stripped. Evans through contact, no. Tap back, good.
Estrella allowed Tennessee to get the putback.
Okereke back into the game with 3 fouls. Draws a foul and 1. Gillespie, Tennessee's leading scorer, with the basketball. And a lid continues to be on the rim for him, but right place, right time. Foul on Tennessee. Neither team reached the bonus in the first half until there was just a few minutes remaining. Foul shooting will be a story.
Kid had after his freshman year, and he's been showing everyone what he's able to do.
Gillespie trying to turn the corner, put his defender on skates.
The noise starts to get into the building to get a quality shot.
Nickel relocates, knocks down a 3, his first.
And here he is starting to deliver in the second half.
From East Tennessee, began his career
to the free throw line for 2.
Now 3 volunteers with 3 fouls. Meanwhile, of course, this is all week in Nashville.
It's going to be some high-level ball and high-level matchups even on the first day.
And right now, according to Joe Lunardi, a plethora of teams in, but still first 4 out consideration for Auburn and Oklahoma. His step back 3 won't go. Estrella the offensive rebound. And Gillespie drew the bump. Plus.
He brought that one hard, and the rim still shaking on the other end.
Evans continue. Okereke drew the double. Pitch out to Bing with 5 to shoot. Bing, that is
the rim.
Has lately become a primary piece off the bench for Mark Byington. Lob to Akbara. How did he get that? Felt the double and had it stolen by Boswell. 3 on 2. Gillespie cradles it to the cup and drops it in.
Jacoby Gillespie of this season. The SEC did a phenomenal job in the non-conference last year, which made them so powerful. Relentless to get second chance opportunities will be the recipe for the Vols.
Good rebound there by Nickel. Nickel, catch and shoot from 3.
And Tyler Nichols stepping right into it and rising up.
J.P. Estrella over the top of Okereke. That's it. What a block. Evans will draw 2 shots for the Vols. Block attempt because Bing was loading up for another poster.
Well, it's a mentality. If you're a shot blocker, you have to have the mentality. He has defensive versatility to switch out on perimeter guards. But even with that, I think he has the range to find himself to get back into step to it.
Estrella, another board. Evans from 3. Yes! As many as 17.
Well, this is where Vanderbilt has been very good. They execute in these moments to get a good shot when the crowd's in it.
Bing with a crowd silencing afternoon. Gillespie gives it up. Evans. Boswell
to get a clean look. I'll see them do that again.
Tanner off the bounce. Flips it up and in. A team high 23.
Back to Estrella in the low post.
There he is, defended by Okereke. Turnaround jumper's good.
Will be able to hold on.
Currently on the 5 line in March Madness, according to Joe Lenardi. Good defense there by Estrella.
On the bull rush.
Okereke remains in the game.
Stagnant possession here for Vandy.
Okereke creating space as he has done all after
touch once again by Okereke.
Gillespie splits the double. Kick out Boswell. And McLaughlin with a rebound. Still plenty of time. 10 to go. Okereke a step back 3. And Estrella skying that he does a basketball player.
Been stepping up his game. Doing a great job.
And Duke at 6:30. In a monster rematch, then Auburn and Alabama. Big game for the Tigers, and we
start playing with a little bit more pace. You find yourself down.
Estrella hits a 3. And now Miles in double figures. Makes it an 8-point game.
Ace of Gillespie to penetrate, find a quality shot.
There he is penetrating, gives it up. Estrella with a 2-hand jam.
Chance to come back in this game.
The worst free throw shooter on the floor. Gillespie off the bounce into the chest of Okereke.
Utilizing your fouls.
Miles hits them both. 7-point game.
In the game, if there is a miss, you have to make sure that you do a really good job. Keep your eye on the blockouts.
Body
Brown and Okpara.
Abrams split.
Your instincts when you first get that ball in a clean look and give yourself a chance. Management is something that players really have to understand how to go about.
Gillespie took it right to the cup. The guy's out. A lot of X's on my play-by-play chart. Meanwhile, Tanner expects to be back at some point in the SEC tournament. A lot of time coming off. Lob to Okpara. But gets it into Estrella. Heaves a 3. Short. Rebound Gillespie. Bobbling the ball. 2 seconds. No.
And in here on the road from the opening tip and took control of this ball game.